level of your competition. You know, Cleveland, they got a much better team because of injuries. They got to raise the level of their game. Don't play to their level.
We're going to take a break. We're working our way toward.
The officials working tonight are Bennett Salvatore in his 25th year, James Capers and Sean Corbin. And there is Baron Davis, who says he can only play 8 players. Howard missing from outside. Batting it out is Nowitzki. And now another 3-on-2 advantage. Here's Ellis driving the baseline for the basket. So the Warriors, but the matchups don't work. 10 points for Ellis. Here are 2 of them.
And Monte Ellis, he was a doe in headlights last game. He's getting involved in game 2.
And a 3 by Baron Davis. So Davis, who hit. So the Warriors get it back. A little more than 3 minutes gone by in the second. Here's Baron Davis, and that's the first person.
Well, he played 43 minutes after game 1, and everyone was wondering how his knee was going to respond. They've had a few days off. He said a lot of ice, a lot of electro-stim.
React to a run by the Mavericks, who are up by 6.
Well, Baron Davis is back on the floor right now. Hopefully he can be a steady influence for them.
In the paint and drives in. This lead 6. They're up by 4. Terry going in. The ball stripped away by Barnes. Here is Davis the other way, and he gets the lay-in. 1.3 on the clock. And Nowitzki passing out of the double team to Terry, who misses the 3. Pass to Baron Davis, and he gives Golden State the lead. A minute into the second quarter, and a quick timeout by Avery Johnson to talk things over.
And he doesn't want to start this game as they started the first quarter. You don't want no runs. Let's nip it in the bud early. Baron Davis, the easy deuce leak out. Which was good. He raised his hand. He's telling Billy Salvatore, you know, that was my bad. And then Matt Barnes kind of swipes the ball away from Jason Terry. Baron Davis comes into his player's defense, Matt Barnes, and I think that's where all the talking and John came about. But there's no love lost. Like I said, the last regular season game between these 2 players, Greg Buckner, Baron Davis kind of got into it with one another. And there's been a little John between Baron Davis and Devin George tonight. So this has the makeup of a long playoff series.
Double technical fouls against Steven Jackson and Sagana Diop, and a technical foul called against Baron Davis. So in essence, 3 technicals called on that one instance.
And Steven Jackson and Baron Davis are a little miffed right now on why they got the technical fouls. They're saying Baron was the aggressor in that melee right there. So the initial foul was by Steven Jackson. He raised his hand like he's supposed to do. Foul, yes, my bad. He turns to Bennett Salvatore, puts his hand up. And then Matt Barnes, see, yeah, Ghana Diop is the one that initiated enough offensive weapon to get back in this ball game. He just can't come down and just go gung-ho.
On the lane, Salvatore right there. So the jump ball controlled by Dallas. The Mavericks with Greg Buckner feeding Stackhouse. Blocked by Davis, the foul against Baron Davis, and that will be 4 on him. This has not been a happy game for Baron Davis, and Don Nelson trying to calm down his star as Stackhouse will go to the line.
And Bennett Salvatore is warning Don Nelson.
And it's 5 fouls on Davis.
He was warning to tell Baron Davis, showing up the officials, and he's been tossed. He had already picked up an official before. And right now he's given...
Tossed from the game. That would have been his 5th personal, but Baron Davis has been agitated throughout the game, and the second technical on Davis. Remember, he picked up one earlier when they had 3 technicals, including the double. This was his 2nd, and now he leaves the game.
Well, now you just don't want to do anything where the league, as we know, they've been policing and been big brothers all year. You don't want to do anything where you could be suspended.
Points on 5 for 12 shooting.
So right now he's talking to the officials and he's clapping right in front of his face. Bennett Salvatore is across the court and is watching this. He goes over to Don Nelson and warns him to tell his player to calm it down. Baron Davis doesn't stop, and Bennett Salvatore